Welcome back. As you can tell, I'm painting Juri from Street Fighter in her pajama version. I didn't show it, but I did prime this in black, and I hit it with a magenta pinkish undertone for the skin, and I'm hitting it now with a little bit of red for the shadowed areas. Nothing too exciting here. So here I'm using Tan Flesh from Pro Acryl, going for pretty much full coverage. Like I mentioned in the last video, I wanted to change up the skin tones, and you're probably wondering why magenta underneath, you're just going to cover it up. Well, it's because base coats actually affect your next, how your next color looks, and I found that magenta really makes for a nice undercoat for skin tones. Moving on, I'm going to be mixing some of this basic skin tone with this light flesh. I'm going to be working on some highlights now that I got the main skin tone down. I'm going to be transitioning to this beige pink from Adam and just working on some shadows, going through the knuckles, in between, little shadowed areas and everything like that. As you can see right here, it's very subtle, and that's what you want for shadows and skin. To me, it's realistic when it's very subtle. And I'm not sure why I have these lines on my screen here. I don't know where it's from, if it's from the light, if it's from my camera. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to get rid of it. So I'm going to stop it now because it's pretty annoying. Now I'm going to be using this light flesh for the highlights. We already did the base coat, we already did the shadows. Now we're going for the highlights. As you can tell, those lines are gone. I moved my camera. I don't know why it likes the left side of my booth versus the right. Maybe I need to look and see how the lighting is, where my camera is positioned. I don't know. Some investigative work needs to be done. Alright, gonna be using this demonic yellow, very watered down. It's almost just like water, and I'm just tinting the skin here. I already thought the skin tones looked good, and I'm sorry that the video is washed out. I need a lot of lighting to really truly represent what the skin and the paint looks like in front of me. I can't do it in these like dark areas or like low lighting. I apologize for that, but as you can tell from the beginning of the video, the skin tones basically look like that right now after the yellow tint. Alright, going to the base now. I accidentally didn't record this using this pixel pink. I put down some like a white soft edge highlight here, and I was kind of winging it, wanting to see how I wanted the base to look. Transitioning to this pink, and what I envision is sort of like a soft neon type of glowing light. So the concentration is going to be mostly from upper down to the lower part where it gets darker and darker, and I'm putting this fluorescent pink on here now. As you can see, it's starting to take some shape now. Skipped ahead, but the same concept with the purple, fluorescent, and you got it. So I'm using some black because I want to do more of that shading, and take it from me, don't use Pro Acryl Coal Black. It's absolute trash to spray through an airbrush. And right here I'm taking some of the Silver Fox and just wanted to give the insides a little bit of attention to, and it turned out really well as far as this coverage with the Turbo Dork paints. I really like those paints actually. Now I'm going to be using this Pro Acryl Black Coal. I know, right after I talk trash on it, but it does brush on really well, so credit for that. Just painting Juri's undergarments right here, trying to be careful with the edges. As you can tell, I don't really mask off anything, or I didn't mask off anything at all. And the reason is, it's because I hate masking. That's why. Alright, gonna start with Juri's pajamas now. And I already painted one side, but wanted to show you guys me painting the other side. Like, who doesn't want to see me paint the other half, am I right? But I had to put multiple coats on this just to get to the right shade I wanted. So looking back, I probably should have put white down first, but it all turned out fine in the end. And just taking this white, painting her shoes, full coverage. Alright, to me a clear red, just airbrushing that. Didn't show the footage because it was pretty bad, but it gives it this nice glossy look. Sells off the effect right there. And this is it when it's dry. It still has that glossy look. If you could tell, the center is sort of like white in there. It has a translucent. I base coated that in white first. Now to paint Juri's fingernails, taking that Temple Guard blue, and now I'll be using this light green and just a touch of white. Any white will do. And looking online, I'm just trying to match the fingernail colors, so I'll just mix until I'm pretty close. And I'm happy with the color match, or at least it's pretty close to it. Now I'm just gonna paint Juri's nails, and after it dries, just hitting with a gloss top coat. Pretty simple. Pixel Pink, going to be painting logos on Juri's shoes. If you remember at the beginning of the video, the logo that was on them. If you missed it or don't remember, more pictures and glamour shots at the end. Finishing touches on Juri's base. I cut this design on my vinyl cutter. Same thing with the logos on Juri's shoes. Finding a good placement for this, and vinyl works really nice on flat surfaces, so no worries so far with this. On her pajamas, the design I do there, that's a little bit of a different story, but it still turned out alright. And as you can see, I'm already airbrushing a white gradient for the logo, just so the base where she stands isn't so plain. And I'm going to be using this magenta right here, and the lines have returned, so I'm going to speed this up so we don't have to sit here and look at this. Peeled that off, and now here's the finished logo. Now I'm going to be working on Juri's portrait, starting with her eyelashes. Did that in a black. Her eyebrows I did in a black brown. Had a couple of comments say that they would like to see me do a portrait and see how I do it, so this is it. I like to do small strokes, and as you can see right there, you'll see a little bit of strays, right? And that's intentional because I want to mimic like natural eyelashes. They're not just lined like they're tattooed on, so I do try to incorporate that when I'm doing eyelashes. Now I'm taking this Vallejo color, gray, white, gray, whatever it is, as long as it's not just a plain white, doing the inside of Juri's eyes, and if it does spill over a little bit on the black, it's not a big deal because I could just correct that by putting some more black. And I like using this black liner pen right here to do eyeballs. I typically put a dot just for reference, and it's really not a big deal if you mess up on the black. As you can see, I'm just doing a reference point, and then I'm going to start coloring in the eyeball, and if I do happen to have the shape of the eye not be round perfectly or it be lopsided, I could always go back with a little bit of white and just correct those. And I'm continuing on with the insides, doing a white and using this Warlord purple for her right eye. I believe that's what the reference was. And for some reason it looks like I didn't record me doing her other eye, doing the pupil and all that stuff. I'm pretty sure I recorded it. I don't know, guys. Like sometimes when I'm recording, my storage fills up and then I come find out that it didn't capture anything. I don't know. Well, anyway, using some red pastels right here, just a red pastel, and just bring a little more life to the skin here. Just some areas are going to be, have a little bit of red to them, and it just makes it more realistic. Going to be doing the same thing, applying it to her cheeks as well. And this is her face finished up. I mean, of course I have to add gloss to the tongue and the teeth, but as far as like her makeup, doing air quotes here, it's done. And as if you can go back and see how it looked previously versus what it looks like now, it definitely makes a difference. And this is after applying gloss and the black on her hair and on her collar. And all I did was put down Pro Acryl white. I don't care if it's messy because I could just fill that in, clean that up with some black. And I'm using Pro Acryl magenta right here for her signature little hair highlights. And this is it with it fitted on her face. And there are going to be like a little bit of cleanup lines, but I wasn't too concerned because of her pajamas covering them anyway. And I'm going to be taking this royal purple, and if you guys want to skip this part you can, because this is like the third time I did her suit. So my bright idea at first, which I actually threw that her pajama away the first time, is I was going to flock the entire suit. And I started flocking it, and it looked really nice. It looked just like fabric, real soft and velvety. But some spots just wouldn't stick. It just wasn't really smooth, and I worked on it for like a day or two, more than a day, and I just couldn't get it to work. So I reprinted her whole pajama outfit again And then I said, I'm just going to do this really nice dark royal purple and, you know, just some of these pink accents. And I decided to go against that too. So I ended up just repriming this in white. And after that's all primed, now I'm going to be laying down this Imperial Fist, going for full coverage right here. Now that that's finished, it's time for the fun part. I cut these on my vinyl cutter, and I saw a design online, really liked it. It was a moon and stars. You know, it's a pajama type of, you know, theme, right? Well, it actually is a pajama theme because she's wearing pajamas, even though she has shoes on. I don't know. Maybe she went out for a midnight snack. She's still wearing her pajamas. I don't know what the case is. I don't know what the story is, but I'm applying all these vinyl stickers on here. And now that these are all applied, and yes, it took exactly as long as you think it did, now I'm going to reapply this royal purple over the vinyl stickers. Now I'm going to be working on some shadow areas right here. There's a lot of folds in Juri's pajamas, rightly so, because they're supposed to be fabric. And you can see I still have the vinyl laid down, and I won't actually lift those up until I'm completely done painting her pajamas. Now I've taken some of this purple, and these are going to be the highlights for her pajamas. This purple actually worked out really nice. It definitely does show. It's subtle, but it still shows. I mean, it's definitely there if you look. And just going to be doing this, and then I'll be finally ready to peel off these vinyl stickers and see if I have clean lines or not. Now it is time. Here we go. And look at that, clean line, look at that. But that's not the case for all of them. I did have to do some cleanup on some of these. But for the most part, I mean, the Oracle 651 vinyl that I'm using right here, it stuck pretty good. I didn't have a lot of lifting. I had some, but then again, I had to go and just correct that. And it wasn't a big deal. You really can't even tell. I mean, you can if you're like looking really close, but if you're looking at, you know, this on a shelf or something, you're not going to be able to notice stuff like that. All right, folks, that's it for the video. I'm going to keep peeling off the rest of these vinyl stickers. Still got to reveal her body. Hopefully she made it through the painting process in one piece, and fingers crossed she still looks good. I think she does, but I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Check out the glamour shots coming up. Until next time, take care.